Well, have you gone down the Epstein Calvin Klein hole yet? Because I'm about to take you. Also, I have an email where Peggy Siegel directly names Calvin Klein. Also, was Andrew, former Prince Andrew, in contact with Epstein all the way up until 2018? I'm going to show you those texts. Let me show you guys how I got started down this hole. My daughter got me this book for my birthday. If you've never seen these, they're all sorts of things from the year you were born. There was a banned Brooke Shields commercial in 1980. I'm going to show you that in a second. And I came across this, where Epstein was the Bachelor of the Month in 1980.
You want to know what comes between me and my Calvins? Nothing.
Now, there was a lot of controversy around that ad, and Brooke Shields was only 15 years old, so CBS ended up banning the ad. In 1992, when Kate Moss was only 17 years old, she did a topless photo shoot for a Calvin Klein ad, and then years later, she did a Vanity Fair interview where she talks about having a nervous breakdown, and then the doctors basically telling her to take Valium. And in 1995, Calvin Klein literally gets investigated for CP because of these ads that he ran. The FBI's probe into the campaign began when agency employees alerted the FBI Violent Crimes Unit of the ads appearing on New York City buses. Now, he was investigated for CP because two of the models at this photo shoot were under 18 years old. However, when they did their investigation, they said none of the photos in question involved the two that were under 18. Not that they didn't meet the criteria for CP, but all the ones that did meet the criteria for CP, those models were over 18. There weren't just print ads, there were also 12 commercials which aired on MTV before Calvin Klein pulled the whole campaign, even though he said he didn't do anything wrong. It was all just a big misunderstanding. You can go to YouTube and watch these 12 MTV commercials. Come back and tell me what you guys think. Now, if you type in Calvin Klein in the Epstein files, a whole lot of stuff is gonna come up, including this text thread. And I'm like, wait a second, who is AM? Could AM be Andrew Mountbatten Windsor? At the top of this text thread is an old email from YouTube, and I tried this code, it didn't work. This address takes you to Chelsea's Marketplace in New York. And then in 2018, it says, I tried to call you. Now, of course, we don't know exactly who this is. I'm just gonna assume that it's most likely Epstein. And then this is the only one I can share with you. It goes on to send photos of models, mostly in Calvin Klein underwear. And this is the only one who basically isn't half naked. And then after all the photos of the young models are sent, this is the last image that was included in those texts. It's so small, so I printed it out. I'm gonna read it to you guys. This starts with from Jeffrey to Peggy Siegel. Charlie, Harvey, Brett, Lewis. Jeffrey is looking better and better. L, smiley face. She responds with, I know, the world is topsy-turvy. That has been going on since the beginning of time, and that is not an excuse, but has suddenly erupted in our day of massive global information as a new moral code of behavior. The mirror of the internet is a social phenomena. You suffered for a few years, and now you are the least of this witch hunt. Yes, some of the men are truly evil. Harvey, Kevin, rough, blank with young boys, but Al Franken, Roy Price, and Dustin Hoffman are ridiculous. I am really upset with Charlie Rose. His actions actually are similar to Harvey's, luring young girls into his Sherry Netherland apartment to Bellport House. Feels like Harvey and the Peninsula Hotel, but Charlie is a tragedy because he is so cultured and beloved as a journalist. When are they going to out David Geffen, Barry Diller, and Calvin Klein? And this was sent November 21st, 2017.